Yo, what's up guys? We're back with another video today, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about what's next for these UFC fighters after UFC Fight Night Colby Covington versus Joaquin Buckley. Now, I'm not going to be covering over all of the fighters. I'm only going to be covering like the most notable ones, like the ones that like realistically we all care about, like let's be real. I'm not going to be talking about Vitor Petrino, like who he should fight, or Sterling, like none, or Tukos, like any of those guys. Only the notable ones. You'll see some guys who have lost. Really, it'll just be Colby Covington. So without further ado, let's get into the fights. For the main event, Joaquin Buckley, he obviously beat up Colby Covington pretty badly. Now I think he should fight Ian Garry. Now let me get one thing out of the gate, right? I know in the last video, I literally said I would love to see Joaquin Buckley. Oh, sorry. I would love to see Joaquin Buckley versus Kamaru Usman, right? But I don't think that the fight's going to happen. I have heard rumors, and I feel like the rumors have been speculating that Kamaru Usman's going to fight JDM at UFC 312 in Sydney in February. So I don't think that it's going to happen. And I don't think Kamaru Usman will want to take the fight. Not that I don't think he's scared, but I don't think that he wants to. I don't know. I think he'd rather fight JDM. So that's why I'm saying Ian Garry should fight Joaquin Buckley. I mean, this fight was booked like before Colby fought Joaquin Buckley. So with that, I feel like that this is the fight that should be made next. It would be a great fight for the fans because I don't know who would win it. I feel like it's a 50-50 for this one. And as far as when this would be booked, I'd say maybe May or March or something like that, or April, like around that time frame. I feel like that's a good time for both of them to come back. Maybe my most likely guess would be May. If Joaquin Buckley doesn't want to wait that long, he may fight like someone else in the meantime. But I feel like this is a great fight for both of these guys to make. All right, now for the losing side, Colby Covington. He obviously got beaten up badly by Joaquin Buckley, right? But, like, I don't know if he's going to retire. I feel like he might, or he might take, like, a long hiatus and see what happens, but I don't think that he'll fight. Like I don't know what's going to happen, but if he doesn't retire, I low-key feel like Wonderboy would low-key beat him. Like, I don't know why. I feel like Wonderboy right now would beat up Colby Covington. Because at least Wonderboy, he wasn't getting destroyed by Joaquin Buckley. Like, Joaquin Buckley and Wonderboy were, like, relatively competitive in that fight. And I don't know. I low-key would lean towards Wonderboy in this fight. Like, am I crazy to think that? Like, I don't know. Like, I remember Colby Covington was calling out Wonderboy after he lost to Leon Edwards, like, for that fight to be made. But obviously, that was, like, a terrible idea. But now after seeing how everything's turned out, low-key, I feel like Wonderboy would beat Colby Covington. But I don't know. I don't know what Colby Covington's going to do. Like, honestly, I feel like I really don't know, guys. But if I had to make a guess on when this fight would be made, honestly, because of how long Colby Covington takes and low-key how long Wonderboy takes, I'd feel like this fight would be made in, like, September or something like that, like a while. But I would like this fight to be made like probably in like May or something. But yeah, you know, I feel like this would be a good fight, and I low-key would pick Wonderboy in this fight. Alright, so obviously Manel Kape, he got a great win. I wasn't the co-main, but he got a good win over Bruno Silva. He looked amazing in that fight. And Dana White afterwards said that, like, even though Manel Kape looked good, he's not going to get the title shot. Maybe Dana White's lying and he changes his mind. But I feel like he might actually not give Manel Kape the title shot. So I feel like the best way for Manel Kape to get the quickest way for him to get the title shot is to fight Amir Albazi. Because Amir Albazi is like, ranked 3rd in the world? He just lost to Brandon Moreno, who was a former champion, in a 5-rounder. And I feel like Manel Kape would easily beat Amir Albazi, because Albazi looked horrible in that fight against him. Horrible. Like, I actually recapped that video. No, I didn't recap the video. I didn't talk about it, but I made a prediction for that in my first video, guys. And I said that, you know, like Brandon Moreno was gonna beat him. Like, I think easily, I said, or something like that. But I picked Brandon Moreno, and yeah, Amir Albazi looked horrible in that fight. And I feel like this would be the easiest way for Manel Kape to get to a title shot, honestly. And he would whoop Amir Albazi. Dustin Jacoby, he got a great knockout against Vitor Petrino, like one of the best in my opinion, like one of the best knockouts this year. It's not being Max Holloway Gaethje though, but it was a really good knockout. He shouldn't fight in the rankings. He was in the rankings not too long ago, but I don't think that he should fight for the rankings. I think that he should fight Zhang Miyang. One of these guys are going to get knocked out 100% because these guys like to scrap. They both have knockout power. So whoever, like, this is a great fight. This will be a great scrap. I'd say make this in like February, maybe April or something like that. Nah, I'd say April. I'd say do April for this. This would be a great like fight night undercard or something like that. Like, this would probably be a fight night co-main because obviously they're not ranked, but like this will be a crazy scrap. Like, am I crazy to think that? Guys? Like, I feel like this would be a really good fight and just a great, like, as I just said, a scrap. So if I'd say do this in like March or April, honestly. All right, Daniel Marcos, he got the win over Adrian Yanez. I don't think that Daniel Marcos should fight for the rankings yet. I know he's on a 5 or 4 fight winning streak. He's undefeated, but he went to a split decision with him or something like that. So I think he should fight one more fight before he fights in the rankings, and I think he should fight Jonathan Martinez. I think this is a winnable fight for Marcos, but I could see Jonathan Martinez like winning this fight. So I'd say put this in like a fight night card somewhere in like early April or March, because Marcos did take some decent damage. They were throwing bombs in that fight, guys. Like that, like they were really trying to knock each other out. So I feel like maybe do this in May or something like that. I think that's a good time for both of them to come back. And I don't know where you put it on, but I feel like this would be a good fight for both of them. Michael Johnson, the greatest fighter of all time, guys. He looked great. He had a great win, great knockout. He looked fast, even at like almost 4 years old. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are saying Jim Miller. I can't disagree. I think that's a great fight, honestly. I think that's a great fight for both veterans. I remember I said Chase Hooper should fight Jim Miller, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think he did call him out, though, I think. But I think this is a good fight. I think this is also a good option for Jim Miller, because... And it's also a winnable fight for Michael Johnson as well, because Jim Miller, he's a tough dude, but he can get knocked out. Bobby Green almost did it to him at 300. So, and Michael Johnson has way more knockout power than Bobby Green does. So, I think that this is a winnable fight for both of these guys. And I'd say you do this, because Michael Johnson didn't take that much damage. So I'd say you do this, maybe like March or something, because I think that's a good time for both of them to come back. Jim Miller doesn't have that much fights left in him, and I think Michael Johnson has a couple more fights before he retires. So I say let's get this one done for like, so that way both of these old vets fight each other and have like a good win on their resume or whatever. And I would say, yeah, do it in March, whatever card you put, because I feel like this would be a good fight. Sean Woodson. Yeah, Sean Woodson, he got a great knockout over, I don't even remember the guy's name, the tall, skinny dude. Like, they were both tall, skinny, lanky guys. Sean Woodson was just the better one of them. So, I think, honestly, you should give Sean Woodson, give him a ranked opportunity spot. I'd say give him Dan Ige. The height difference would be crazy. It actually would be insane. That's kind of partially why I want to see this fight, because I want to see if Dan Ige could beat up a tall, lanky, skinny guy. Because he's just a short, stubby, buffed guy, I'd say. Well, he's not like buffed, but you get what I mean by that, guys. You get what I mean. I feel like this is a winnable fight for Sean Woodson, but I also think Dan Ige could win this fight. Obviously, he'd have to deal with the length and all that, so he'd have to like get in the pocket and all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. I'm I don't know when you put this. I really don't. I can't make a guess on when this fight would be made, if this fight were even to like be made to begin with. Maybe like April or something like that. I think that's good. That's a good time to have this fight. That's a good time to like for both of them to get ready and all that stuff. So I'd say do it in like April or something, and it would be a good fight because I don't think Sean Woodson would KO Dan Ige. Diego Lopez couldn't do it, so I don't think Sean Woodson could, but he could win by decision against Dan Ige. But Dan Ige, he could knock him out or take him down or something like that. So I think this is a winnable fight for both of these guys. All right, so this was the fight I was talking about. Joel Alvarez versus Rafael Murphy. This should be the fight to make. This is such an unbelievable like banger right here. This is probably the best fight you can make out of like all the guys I've mentioned like throughout these all other fights. This is like the best fight right here. This would be this would be such a high skill level right here. Both of these guys are amazing. They're on momentum. They're on the momentum to get into the top rankings. I just would love this fight because I don't know who to pick. I really have no clue. You have Joel Alvarez, who's the tall, lanky guy. He's like 6'2" in the lightweight division, which is crazy. And you have Rufi, who's just the Conor McGregor of the lightweight division now. His striking is really good. Joel Alvarez is just a really good mixed around fighter. I don't know who to pick for this one. And I hope this fight would be made because this would be such a good one. You could honestly put this on a pay-per-view card because like this is like I don't think the casuals would know these two names, but they would like love this fight because these guys are really entertaining. Joel Alvarez, 100% finish rate, and Rafael Murphy, he doesn't have 100% finish rate, but he's super entertaining, and he has a fighting style similar to Conor McGregor. So I feel like you could put this on a pay-per-view card in somewhere in like April or May or something like that. It would be a sick fight. Please make this fight. I beg you. This will be an amazing fight right here. All right, and the last fight to make, Felipe Lima. I think he should fight Alex Caratquez. I think that's how you say his name. It's a little bit hard for me to pronounce his name for some reason. I think this is like just a good win for Felipe Lima, because this just helps him get up to the rankings. This is a good test for him as well, because Alex is a veteran. He's been fighting for like what 13 years in the UFC, so he's fought a lot of guys. He is on a 2-fight losing streak, but I like those guys are against Sean Woodson and Giga Chikadze, so nothing to like I wouldn't say be ashamed of. And I feel like I think this is a good test for Felipe Lima to see how well he does against like a veteran like Alex is. So I'd say put this in like March. No, I wouldn't say March. I'd say have this fight made in April or May, something like that time. I feel like this would be a good fight for both of them. But guys, that is me covering what's next for these fighters after watching UFC Fight Night Colby Covington versus Joaquin Buckley. Great way to end off the year as well. Great way to end off the year with the card. It was a really good card, and I feel like these are the best fights you can make, like the fighters I've mentioned. And yeah, so leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace!